much for coming today. And so here's what we got coming up next, ladies and gentlemen. You know, you always wonder how we're going to find people within the cannabis community. It's tough. One of the reasons we've created Magical Butter Studios is to educate people in the future. To educate them in the future of cannabis and good cannabis business. Just like the MJBA, and that's why you're here today, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what? I'm very, very proud to introduce Angel. Come on up here, Angel. And she's going to tell us all about her company, Green Staffing. Welcome to Magical Butter.
Well, thank you, Jeremy. I'm going to have that, that's okay.
I would love for you to take the podium. Make sure it's all adjusted and right where you need to be. Thank you so much, and we'll see you all soon. And go away, Angel. Here we go.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Angel Swanson, and I'm with Green Staffing Solutions. And I want to start off with a little bit of a joke. I was watching Jay Leno the other day, and he made a joke about the MJ industry, which media seems to love us and, you know, pointing at us and kind of snickering and laughing all the time. So what he said was San Francisco had hosted their first MMJ job fair, and then the keynote speaker spoke, and the title of their speech was Jobs and How to Avoid Getting One. And so yeah, that was kind of funny. But the truth of it is that most of us are regular Americans. We need to work. We actually like our jobs. We actually like going to work. And one of the needs that I see in this industry is that we need skilled people in positions to help us legitimize this business. And that's always been my goal from day one with this. So I want to backtrack us a little bit and thank MJBA for allowing us to have this amazing trade show. It's been just phenomenal for the last 2 days, meeting everyone and networking and seeing everyone. And to Magical Butter for making this just an amazing space to actually have a trade show. It's great foresight on their part. So what we'll talk about first is why green staffing is the natural evolution of this thing. And it is. The truth of it is that we have lots of dispensaries, collectives all around town. And if you have one, you've probably had someone walk in and say, yeah, those folks up the street, they were stoned all the time, and oh, I didn't like going in there because that guy was shady. We're really trying to move away from that. We're really trying to move towards and gear ourselves a little bit better towards great customer service, great products, and just a great experience for people who are coming into your shops. Also, we want to make sure that with our growers and our processors, you have ethical people that are working with you for you that will make your business, help move your business forward. And so, in needing to find that, what we've always relied on are friends and family. Well, if you don't have any friends and family, you're already up the creek. But if you have utilized your friends and family and they're not working out or you don't have enough of them, where do you go? How do you find someone to work for you and do a great job? Well, in my history and in my other lives, in my other careers, I would call it a staffing company. And in my experience, trying to call a staffing company in this industry is impossible. They won't do it. They will not send anyone out. I've called, I've asked, they will not do it. So this was the next great evolution for this thing. Next slide, please. So what we offer we consider 4 tiers of employment type. First being the temporary staffing. You think mostly of labor ready or temp works when you think of temporary labor. Again, they won't touch us. Green staffing will. We have already almost 200 to 300 people on our roster, people who have applied to work in this industry. People who have experience, people who don't have experience but are loaded with passion and wanting to break into this industry. This is their opportunity in the temp labor. The next tier of employment that we offer, that is my personal favorite, as I call it the try it before you buy it, is the temp to direct hire. And what you're looking at are people who start off as temp labor, but you in your contract leave open for the opportunity for them to become permanent placement. Then permanent placement. Some people want to go directly to permanent replacement. They don't want to dink around with trying to retrain several different people. They want to work with what we send. And in those instances, generally, we will send you 3 candidates to take a look at. You interview them, and you place them in a permanent situation. And then our 4th, which we have found a great name for, is consultant referral. What we have found is, for example, we had someone approach us and ask for us for an architect. They weren't opening up an architectural firm, so they didn't need to hire anyone permanently, but they needed someone to help them build a store from the ground up. They needed an architect. Of course, we will sell them, and we'll see if we can get them to take a designer to help them design the interior of the building as well. So we offer all 4 tiers of those types of employment services. Who we work with? Well, who we work with is also similar to what we are offering you. We offer agricultural and grower support. If you're indoors with lights, you know as well as I do that we need to move that dirt from point A to point B and repot the plants and make sure the lights are being raised or whatever it is you're doing, you need labor for that. And we will support growers and agricultural folks wholeheartedly. We have lots of people on the roster. We have botanists with PhDs on the roster. Processor and labor operations. This is my favorite category only because it's the most frustrating. It's huge. This is a huge category. When you just say processor and producer, well, that encompasses everything. That encompasses from the minute that plant comes down to the final product, whatever it's going to be, and all the people that it takes to make that happen. Well, we've got you covered on that too. We have people with all kinds of experience ready to come in and help you create your concentrates to go into your baked goods. We got a request to staff an entire bakery so that they could do their baked goods. They needed a driver, they needed bakers, they needed all of those people. We supply that. Retail support cashiering. That includes stocking and security and everything else that you would need in your retail store. So definitely call us up. If you're setting up a retail, folks, you're going to have to cover lots and lots of shifts. You want to make sure that you have enough staff on hand for that. Front desk and administrative support. Those of you who are processors and people who are creating butters and things like that, and just all of you who are doing your processing need those front-end admin people. These are people who are going to need to be trained in the BioTrex system and any systems that the state puts forward, who can work QuickBooks, who can do accounting to some level anyway, to help you. We have those people again in our roster. Warehousing labor. A lot of people think that's grunt work, but really you need licensed forklift drivers and things of that nature. We have them. So we support all of those levels for you. And if we haven't thought of it, call us, because I'm sure someone has applied. We have hazmat people, CDL drivers, just all kinds of folks on our roster for you. Next slide. So what we do is we bring in the candidate, we pre-screen them, and we make sure that they're in line with your specific need, and then our understanding of both temporary and permanent employee retention and team building efforts for you ensures that we get you the right people from the top to the bottom of your company. So we just try to make sure that these folks fit with what you do and that their mindsets are along the same. That's why we send your candidates to you to interview as well. So most businesses could really utilize an extra set of hands to handle a big project or a surge in your business, and especially with the retail folks, you will see a surge in business as you go. I know your first couple of days will be big, but you will continue to grow. You need to be prepared to bring on more staff as needed. But most of you are reluctant to hire full-time staff because of all of the work that it takes to do that. You almost need an HR person on staff to handle your staff. A staffing agency like us can help you with a wide variety of these business tasks. Working closely with us, a hiring manager can ensure that temporary workers possess the needed skills and experience to meet your needs. And that's what we're here for. We've interviewed some really amazing candidates and would love to expose you to them. Improve your productivity. And this is really important. I made this one first for one of the benefits that you'll see that we can provide is improving productivity. A lot of people don't realize that if they think that if they staff do it cheaply, that they can get everything done, and that's really counterintuitive in a lot of ways. What happens is you bring in one or two really well-trained, really motivated people, and you overload them. And guess what? They become unmotivated. They start calling in sick to work all the time. They don't enjoy the jobs anymore. They make mistakes. It makes more sense for you to bring in a couple of really well-trained people that you want to keep, and some temp people to handle tasks that are not necessarily part of their job scope. That will help avoid some of that revolving door feel that you have with your employees. If you make sure that you have enough people on staff that you're not paying through the nose to do it. So trying before you buy. I mentioned this before. Temporary employees give your business a chance to try out the employee first. And I love this part of the business because it's so much fun for people to discover an employee that fits in with the personality of their shop. So, I mean, yes, they have all the skills, but do they get along with you? Do they get along with your staff? That's important. It's extremely important because if your staff is not running it well-oiled and smoothly and getting along, you have employee A not talking to employee B, so information gets lost, misconstrued. It's important to have staff that works very well together. So by bringing in a new staffing person from us in a temporary setting, you can apply them later in a permanent setting if you discover that they really truly fit with you. This to me is the best bang for your dollar, the best buy that you can make. Next slide. Decreasing costs. Okay, so it seems like how could you possibly decrease your costs? How does that make sense? Well, I'm going to read this and I'll explain it. Temporary staff persons are employed by staffing agencies. That means us, not by you. So this can decrease the overall cost of your employee as the business does not have to provide benefits to a temporary staffing member. In addition, bringing in temporary staff can reduce other overhead costs such as overtime for regular full-time employees. And while the per-hour cost may be more than the per-hour cost of a full-time employee, temporary staff can be used as needed without a commitment to them for a 40-hour work week, regardless of whether or not the work exists. So in other words, you've committed to a 40-hour week person in your grow operation, and you don't need them 40 hours a week, but yet you still have to pay them. And then, all of a sudden it's harvest time, and they're working overtime, so now you also have to pay them overtime. By hiring staffing people, temporary staffing people, you can avoid all of that. And that's what we're here for. Next slide. Avoid unemployment claims. That, I think, speaks for itself. They don't work for you, they work for us. If they are no longer in your employment, they can't file unemployment against you. And that's a really important thing, and that's a cost savings to you. Next slide. Increase your flexibility. Next slide. Cool, thank you. Temporary employees allow businesses to use staff as needed. Again, for grow-ops and processors, this is key for you guys because most of the time you don't need a 40-hour folks in there doing labor. We can provide employees in a wide variety of disciplines to meet all of your needs, and the business then has the flexibility to use our services when you need them. Whenever a few hours a week work for you, we can send someone. You need someone for a full week, we can send someone. So again, that flexibility that you need without the commitment will help your business to grow faster. Next slide. Key benefits. Yes, we're local, and that is so important. Let me explain why. So, being from Washington State and understanding the law here and being involved in the community here, and then sending your staffing people means I can't even begin to explain how much that means to you. It's so exciting to me anyway. We get it. We totally get it. We're not based in California or based in Colorado or based someplace else. We understand the landscape here. And that is important for you because you're going to receive employees from us that also get it because they're local. We know them. They know us. We explain the law and how things work. They're affordable. This is perfect for the startup business and for small businesses. Temporary labor is an important way to avoid all those payroll costs, having to pay health care, all of those things. And temporary employment can really help the small business get on its feet. And flexible, of course, we just adapt to you. We adapt to what you need. So I hope, did anyone have any questions for me? Because I did ask yesterday and I felt bad when I sat down. So no questions, good. So if you need a quote, next slide, feel free to give us a call. We have an 855 number, which is toll free. It will flip over into our lines. We actually have mobile lines for when we're out in the field, and that will actually flip into us regardless of where we are. You can also check us out online. If you're looking for employment, there's an application online that you can get a hold of us and fill out that initial application and begin it. And I think that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to email us at info@greenstaffingsolutions.biz, and I thank you very much for your attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, Angel. And yes, Angel, of course, in Green Staffing Solutions. She's located right under the skylight, got that premium little spot right there. So she's under the light. Stop by if you have information or you want to talk to her about the future of cannabis. And thank you again for coming to Magical Butter Studios. We'll have our next lineup in just a few minutes. We'll give you a few minutes of music. Thank you for coming. Just so you know, we have our dipping oil series from Pike Place Market. We're going to be doing some cooking shows at Pike Place Market. Yes, cannabis cooking shows at Pike Place Market, people. And we're going to be doing them with Magical Butter, of course, Amanda, and of course, Ross, the sauce guy, a long-term person at Pike Place, and now a team of the Magical Butter family. Please come over and join us, have yourself a snack, and we've got a special treat coming out from Short and Sweet in just a little bit. And then one last thing is our company favorite thing that we love to share with people. We're going to be doing our truffle popcorn. Here's a little music. We'll talk to you soon.